I'm so happy to have you here. We know each other for several years, and
Yes.
I'm really fascinated about your work and what you're doing worldwide. And this is a great opportunity for the first time to have you with the Mentors Channel members on this call today. You are a thought leader, and you are a teacher from the Tamil Siddha tradition, teaching the West for the last 40 years, bringing a lot of
Yes.
wisdom, helping
I think there it froze. Can you hear me, Dora? Can you hear me? I think it froze. Can you ask one of them? Yeah. It froze. Yeah, it just froze. It froze, and I don't think anybody can hear me. They're hearing. It froze, right? It is alive? Doron, can you hear me? Okay, like he cannot hear me. I don't disconnect it. It's a live show?
It's not. They're doing a pre-recorded.
Oh, pre-recorded. Okay. So you can come back then.
Yeah. Is Jayvan Skyping you? Maybe he might have told.
Yes, there was
some problem with it.
problem, so we will start from the beginning.
Okay, good.
What we will do is probably the best is to continue, and then we will edit it.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much. So, as I said, welcome to the Mentors Channel community. We know each other for several years, and I've learned a lot from you, and I want my community to learn as well. I know that you have helped so many mentors around the world, especially when Dyer with this AHH meditation that you gave him that helped him to create this book, Manifest Your Destiny.
Yes.
And, recently, you told me something that we will talk about later, that you are going to stop teaching.
Yeah.
And first, I wanted you to tell my community a little bit about your background. 40 years is a lot of time of teaching and bringing so much wisdom to the world.
Yes. I think the best way to introduce myself to the Mentors Channel people, I know that you have a lot of members, over 2.5 million people. The best way that I can introduce myself to your audience is just to talk about what I have done differently from other teachers. I'm not into giving long lectures. I'm more interested in trying to go into the atomic structure of reality. The universal law is when you go deeper into very subtle realities, as for instance, into the atom, into the nucleus, you see power increases as compared to a molecule. A molecule itself is a gross thing when compared to an atom. So you will go to subatomic particles, you are going to increase the power. Okay, this is not only in physical reality, but also it is the reality in consciousness. Okay, if words are not as powerful as syllables, okay, even syllables when you go deep into the syllables, then there is power. And also the time frame, for instance, like a nanosecond, is a lot more powerful than an hour. So what you can accomplish in a nanosecond is something equivalent to nuclear power. Okay? This is one of the teachings that I gave 15 years ago to Wayne Dyer. Instead of giving a talk for 2 hours and intellectually satisfying the mind, you are not going to accomplish as much as when you go give a sound, a syllable, and ask them to go and tap into the atomic structure and the atomic energy. So that is fundamentally my philosophy, and that is the tradition that I represent. And I have also compared this with the Jewish tradition, because I have a website called, and you know that too, you brought Judge Shalom. So am I pronouncing his name correct?
Shlomo Sohan, yes.
I brought him on the show where I talked about how in the Jewish tradition, they were able to say a few words, and with these words, they were able to create. Even the Genesis says that in the beginning, God created everything with the words. Let there be light, and the light was there. Let there be cattle, and the cattle were there. Let there be fishes and birds. Okay, so the God spoke the world into its existence. The sounds are fundamental for creation. Okay, if you understand, this is also the philosophy behind mantras. The mantra has become almost an English word. The mantra is a sacred syllable uh, which has tremendous amount of energy packed into it. So if you use a mantra, and even that mantra within a nanosecond, which not many people have understood or explored, they use just say a japa, like go on saying a sound for 108 times, and that's the regular practice. But what I teach people is just to go deep, particularly in the program that I have just developed, to the bottommost level, the origin of the sounds. Okay, this is what I was talking in a previous show when I was comparing it with Jewish sounds. For Abraham, when he wanted to create, because God told Abraham, you can create with words. Okay. And then he was able to create a goat with a sound, the ba, 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 and then there's a lot of wisdom behind these two sounds, ba and ra, or sounds that are loaded with ability to create from a unidimensional thinking reality to a three-dimensional material reality. So that, in the site I have explained all those things. So that is my philosophy. When you go deep into your consciousness to the atomic level, there you have tremendous amount of energy, and then you can understand where mind and matter collapse into one reality. So mind over matter is not just a new concept in psychology and modern science, but it is a very ancient science, because the mind creates everything, and the mind means the syllables. So that instead of
what I'm saying is amazing how you integrate the spirituality and science and religious, so everything together into a one message, a one course, ultimate teaching, you call it.
I was inspired by Einstein, because Einstein said that where science ends, there religion begins. He said that the methodology of religion is far more sophisticated than the methodology of science. he very clearly said the methodology of science is lame. It's he used the word lame because it doesn't accommodate studying, finer realities. So he said, he also said about science, about religion. Religion is blind. So that's why we have to bring science and religion together. That was Einstein's goal. He said, religion without science is blind, and science without religion is lame. So in order to have a complete picture, Einstein said that we have to bring religion and science together. That exactly is what I'm trying to do, because we cannot afford to be lame, nor can we afford to be blind, because blind faith is dangerous, and the scientists who are arrogant, they are lame. Okay? And then that's why he said it is important that we bring them together.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do here.
It's really fascinating. And as I said, you are teaching for the last 40 years. What is the difference between what you're doing right now with this program, Ultimate Teaching, versus everything you've done up till now in the last 40 years?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I truly believe that every moment is new. So if I have been teaching 40 years, and now I am at a point that I really see that what I teach today is going to be outdated by tomorrow, that I feel it in my own life. Okay. So even that what I'm going to say today will be outdated tomorrow. Okay. That is how I relate to reality. Every moment is new, is not a cliche, but it is really the truth. Okay. I relate it to the people who say, I don't have money. No, don't say that. You didn't have money in the last moment. Okay. That doesn't mean in this moment that reality has to continue. Okay. Unless you make a connection with it and then stay in that old moment. Okay. That is very important to know in one's own life. And this is this is what I call as the ultimate teaching. So if you identify yourself with the past moment where you did not have money, then that reality will continue this moment. And do you want to do that? You don't want to do that. But the key is to identify the mind that is really the fundamental reality, a mind that transcends the rational mind. So which Einstein again said, Einstein was called by his own teacher as a lazy dog. And then he did not have, much mathematics. Okay. Even till his death, he agreed. I wish I had more mathematics. I know a lot of things, but since my mathematics is limited, I can't write the equations. But Einstein said it doesn't matter. He says, what matters is whatever I have discovered so far. They came to me. It is not a rational process. These are the words he used. It's not through a rational process. It is through intuition. Okay. The intuitive mind is what made him the greatest scientist forever in the world, because he went and discovered the power, the nuclear power. And the nuclear power came to him because he had a nuclear mind. Okay. And we can create the nuclear mind. By nuclear mind, I mean the mind, the subtlest mind. Okay. And that is real yoga. Real yoga means the union of the rational mind with the intuitive mind. Yoga's chit vritti nirodha. This is Patanjali, the father of yoga. Defining yoga is not just physical exercise. Yoga is the mind merging with the intuition. The intuition is the nuclear mind. Okay, and that is important for everybody to know. And it gives a lot of hope for people who don't have money, because they are identifying themselves with the last moment. They are not living the nuclear mind. They are living only the negative, rational surface mind. You have to delve deep into this mind, the nuclear mind. That is the gift that God has given to everyone, everyone. And I was just before I came here, I was reading Isaiah. Isaiah was telling, "Call on me." This is the promise that God's. And I wish I could. I'm just learning Hebrew, but it's going to take a long time because of my time constraint. But I'm still working on it. He says, "Call on me, and I will show you things your mind cannot find out. I will show you the treasures, where the treasures are." Okay, all that God is openly saying, "Call on me," but people cannot relate it, to that. Although we say in America, and I've been living in America for 38 some years, and we say, "In God we trust in the dollar bill." Only in the dollar bill it is. Only in dollar we trust. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's
If you
amazing.
truly, if you
It's
truly
amazing.
trust in God, you will
Yes.
be living the moment.
Last month I visit you, and I always learn from your wisdom about science, but also about religious and how,
Yeah.
Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in my last visit, you've talked about, the relationship between the Holy Spirit and
Yeah.
breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more so our
Yeah.
community can?
The whole, let's start with uh, Christianity, because the Christianity developed the concept of Holy
Holy Spirit.
Spirit more than in the Old Testament. But however, let's go from what Jesus said about the Holy Spirit. He said, "I am nothing without the Holy Spirit. I was conceived through the help of the Holy Spirit." Okay. If I don't have the Holy Spirit, I cannot do the miracles that I have been able to do. So without the Holy Spirit, I have no power, because I'm just an ordinary human being, very limited, very limited. But all these powers I got from the Holy Spirit. But when you want to understand the Holy Spirit, then you have to go to the Old Testament, okay, where Ruach, you just start me the pronunciation. If I do it wrong, let me
You
know.
do it perfectly. Ruach.
Yeah,
Maybe
Ruach
you can say the
Kodesh,
Ruach HaKodesh.
Ruach. I have tried this with the word Holy Spirit. But when you say Ruach, the power is immense, and people are able to go into the power of the Holy Spirit and then acknowledge, well, now I understand why Jesus said that the power is with the Holy Spirit. Because he said, the last word he said, "I got to go to my Father." And it is important that I do that, because I am very limited. But once I go, the Holy Spirit will come. That is the Pentecostal, on the day of the Pentecostal. The Holy Spirit came and then enabled everyone, like Peter and all the Matthew and other people who were there, to be able to get the power to heal and do miracles. Okay, so since I'm interested in understanding the origins of a tradition, in any tradition, so in order to understand the Holy Spirit myself, I had to go to the Jewish tradition, where the Holy Spirit is a female, not a male. But when it came to the New Testament, they translated it, the Holy Spirit, as a he, but it is only a she. The power is with the creativity is with the feminine. Okay. And not many people make comparison between the two. They just take things for granted. because since I have been trained, as a scholar and a phenomenologist, so I always want to go to the origin of the tradition, where it came from, and then try to experiment with it. So, and what I have found is tremendous amount of power in the sound Wah. And people are able to go into the power of the Holy Spirit, and some people are able to speak in tongue. They are able to prophesy. That is going to be added, because I can compare the sound ruach with the Tamil Siddha sound, because they say this is the sound that is going to give you miraculous powers. So don't, and that sound is aru, aru, aru. This is the aru is reversed in the Jewish tradition, in the Hebrew tradition. Whenever you reverse, then power increases. This is Sefer Shira. Okay, now he helped me to buy that book when I was in Israel, and that book was telling, and it is a book. Sefer Shira is the book of creation. It talks about how can you create. I have never read a book as powerful as Sefer Shira. Okay, I have mentioned this. A lot of Hindus here have gone and then they have read all this. They have found tremendous amount of treasure in that, because the tradition also says how to create. Because everybody wants to create a home, everybody wants to create money. Because my own commitment is to put money in the hands of the spiritual people. Money is in the wrong hands now, with people who don't have spirituality. When you put money in the hands of the right people, then we can create the golden age, and that is my goal in this incarnation. So you have this sound ru and ah, and the combinations of which can take you to the nuclear mind, and for which you don't have to go and get an MD or PhD or anything. That is not needed. What is needed is to go to the deep level of of your own strength, and that strength lies in understanding how God created everything with nothing. With nothing. There was a guy, Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts is very famous Christian evangelist. But God told him, go and create an university for me. And then he doesn't have any money, and he created a great university in the United States. And he says, God told him, how you create? You create the way I created the world. And I created out of nothing. So this is the message I want to give it to your 2 million people, because most of them need to hear that they have the ability. This is also the thing that I gave to Wayne Dyer. Just a sound awe will be able to help people to create a home, create a job, create a business, even create a baby. Okay, this is found in Genesis. It is found in Sefer Shira, where Abraham used this technique, and also you find it in the New Testament, also according to the Gospel of John.
Our mission at Mentors Channel is to bring a new consciousness in which spiritual and material are aligned. And you're giving now really a good, comprehensive technique and a model of how our members can do it. If our members wants to hear more and to learn more about this ultimate teaching and about you and your teaching, how can they do it?
Well, I'm going to have a program on August 15th for 4 hours for free, okay, in which I'm going to talk and give techniques also for people to learn it for free. It's an introduction to for an year-long program, and where I'm going to talk about how a man who is completely broke, completely have no hope, because I've tried everything and nothing worked. And how can you really come up in life with zero money, because I have no education, I have no skills. Okay, but that is your your rational mind. The rational mind. You have to quit the rational mind to go into your nuclear mind. Okay, that is your your core reality. Your core reality is not the superficial egocentric waking consciousness. You have to disidentify yourself totally and truly, and that is really the now. And people talk about the now, and I'm in the now. You are not in the now. You are now in the sense you are able to identify with the fact that you have no bank balance. Okay, so there are people, if there is a website that some of my devotees have put together. It's called The Miracles of Dattatreya Siva Baba. That was my old name. Okay, and there you can see people have been able to see money coming to their bank because they believe in it. Okay, and literally money appeared in the bank. Okay, and that is where faith comes in. Faith, as Jesus said, with faith you can move mountains, and you don't need a lot of faith. He said, with the faith like a mustard seed, you can move mountains. You don't have faith like a pumpkin. Even we don't have that faith. We only believe in our rational mind, and that is the trouble. That is really the problem. Okay, the true meaning of yoga is the nuclear mind, where the mind has to completely annihilate itself and go into the soul and be a soul reality. If you soulize your mind, I call it that, this is a word I coined, soulization of the mind. If the mind is soulized, and then you are God. This is one of the things that that I teach. That's the new. You asked me what is the new teaching. This is the new teaching. Is no matter who you are, you have no education, no skills, you are completely broke, you can't even pay your rent, you still have the power to manifest. Okay, you have to really diffuse your mind. Okay, there are sounds that create mind, and there are sounds that will diffuse mind.
I'm looking
and all the traditions agree on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the topics for, it's this Saturday, the 15th, August 15th. So really in few days, and I see that there are 4 topics. So you've talked about being here and now, not on the, what we call the new age concept, but what you really explained right now. There is this second topics of overcoming negative forces that I see here. The third one is cultivate faith, the doorway to miracles. And the fourth one is amazing, master soul consciousness, awaking of your light body. And this is really the tool for manifestation in life.
Yeah. So you are basically light. You're basically light, particles of light. Okay. And if you identify that level of consciousness, when I just visited Israel, with when you compare us to so many places, the one place I went is Eliyahu's place. Okay, and Eliyahu did not die; he just turned his body into light and disappeared. So I just came there to study the tradition of Eliyahu. And how he just ascended. Ascension is a possibility. It's a matter. Now I explain it in with science. It's because fundamentally we are light particles, and that is Einstein's discovery that matter and energy are one and the same. They have different manifestations. Matter can become energy, and energy can become matter. So we don't see that reality, only in physics we study that, but we think this meat body is real. The meat body is not real. Okay? The moment you identify yourself with the light, you can vibrate with the speed. And at that level, the mind can be, I have another word coined, novization of the mind. You have to novize the mind because mind is time. Mind is time. And as long as the reason why you want to make money at the end of the month, on the first of every month, is because the mind brings in time. And if you don't have that concept of, I'm going to get paid only on the first of every month, you can get paid every day, every day. And then I'm very much interested in understanding the quantum computing, because this is the computing that people use in forex trading. In forex trading, they understand time better than anywhere else, because in a second you can make millions in forex trading. So I was talking to a group of people in London. I was just telling, look at the concept of time they have versus the concept of time that other people have. So the forex traders, which are the banks, they are interested and are competing with each other how to complete a trading within fraction of a second. So the time becomes valuable. So you have to understand now in that concept, not as a philosophy, but as a banking concept. Okay, this is what people have to understand. And not many people even understand these things. You have to, whatever you learn from religion, you have to put it to application in the real world. Okay, so one of the guys that I admire is Richard Branson. Richard Branson is, he didn't even go to college, just finished his high school and became one of the richest men of the world. And he has about 400 companies. And people, the Fortune 500 companies interviewed him. What is the secret of success you have had in your life? He said, for me, in my personal life, as well as the business life, every second counts. I don't waste even 1 second. Every second literally counts to me. So he has, without understanding like I do, talking, learning about time and mind and these things, but naturally he developed, an intuitive awareness of time. So every second counts. But what we say, we are not successful for years and years and years and hoping that things will change. There is no time. You create time. Just as you create at the end of the month, on the first of the month, I get paid. The reason why you are not making money today is because you don't expect, you don't apply the concept of time. That is truly novising the mind. How can you really change your mindset? Okay. So the Hindu yogis, they did it. They said, if you can complete a thought within 4 millionth division of a second, you are like a god. But God thinks a thought within 4 millionth of a second. Okay, it's a little less than the 3 million something there. I just rounded it out. Within a 4 millionth division of a second, you can change the reality. So what it requires is how you can conceive of a small unit of time like this. It is only possible when you transcend the mind and go to another mind. And that is the purpose of meditation. So spiritual people, they, one problem I have with the spiritual people I have been teaching for 40 years, most of the spiritual people are poor. Okay, I want to change the scenario. And they just go and do seminars, read big books. You don't need all these things. You need to understand this one concept. And that concept is You can create that wealth you want. You can create the spirituality you want, relationship you want within this fraction of a second. Well, where is the technology? And that is going to be the program that I will be teaching. This is called my ultimate teaching. Okay, and that is important.
Really, really important, and especially important to our community. We really practice meditation. We know that what you are talking about is true, and many of our members find it very difficult to really manifest it in their life, even when they know that it's true. The ability to take the knowing and manifest
and apply it,
and applying it. Yes. This is something that our community can learn from you. And I wanted to ask you this question. You told me in our last meeting that this will be the last year that you are going to teach it. And I'm asking you, why last year? You have so many years to.
But the reason for the same reason that I have explained to you, because I want to go into experiencing myself what it is to be like experiencing the division, the 4 million, the division of a second that these people are talking about. Is it how can I get into that smallest division of the second and live at the second, the fraction of a second, 4 millionth division of the second? And if you get to that level, I want to dedicate myself, and in which case, I cannot come to the gross level of the mind, because at that level, it is really suffocating to think a thought. Okay. To think a thought is to come into ignorance. Okay, because that is very, very painful experience if you live that very subtle reality. That's why most of the yogis don't even speak. They don't even speak because it is totally useless. So I'm getting into that condition. So I just want to complete whatever I have to say and then go and experience that reality, but not like a yogi, but I would like to be a banker who understands this time, in the context of Forex trading, how they understand the now and then make billions. These people are really living that reality, because like Einstein, science without religion is useless. It's vice versa. So we have to bring these two together.
Amazing, Dr. Pillai. We are honored to have you on Mentors Channel for the first time. I'm sure that there will be many more, and I really appreciate it, and I believe that our community will appreciate it and will come to see you on this Saturday, the 15th of August. I know that you were very generous to give our community a meditation, and it's here in this page below. You can, all of our members can download Dr. Pillai's Holy Breath meditation. Register. It's free. It's really free. We haven't said that. Free masterclass. The only thing that we need to do is to click below. Like always in our community, it is important to share it with friends. Not everybody have the time to listen and to see what we are doing here. And this is really a gift that can change the life of so many people. So invite your friends like you always do with our programs. Participate in this Saturday session with you, Dr. Pillai, and I'm sure that we will make the world a better place. This is really the journey that we are here for. This is our global mission. And, by helping more people manifest, make more money, do their mission, we are doing our mission.
Okay. I'm delighted, that I'm able to share my, thoughts with your group. I wish the Mentors channel to do well, and your mission is good, and it comes from your heart, and we are moving certainly towards the golden age, and together we will create that society. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, and I'll see you on Sunday and Saturday. And to all of our community, thank you for joining us. Please just click below, get the present, register to this wonderful session. And again, thank you, Dr. Pillai.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.